I'm like, it's just something about me getting shit done. It was something about me just connecting with people that worked for me. And that's how I got like these trophy rooms, right? I did this deal directly with Marcus Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That's Michael Jordan's son. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy,
like, this deal happened behind closed doors.
That was a stunt right there. That was
you know what I'm
stunt.
saying? Like, there was a picture that went viral all over the, like, for good and bad. I got a lot of attention, but you know, I was in a room with 250 pair of these.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Rubino.
And this DJ in the building.
And you listening to the UpNUp Podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing?
I don't know, just listen.
Yes. Welcome.
What it do?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into the UpNUp Podcast on the UpNUp Network. I'm your host, Rubino.
And I'm DJ man.
What's up, DJ?
What it do?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Chilling.
What's
up with you?
I'm good, bro. Like, you know me, man. I'm blessed, grateful, right? Always, man. Got to be thankful for the day, man. For those of you first-time listeners, welcome. As I stated, this is the UpNUp Podcast. This is the podcast where we're focused on cultivating culture, right? We do that by providing amazing stories of individuals, groups, movements. You know it, hustlers, shakers, right? Pioneers.
Yes, sir.
Right? Lane makers. That's a new one, right? Erm's tired of that. Are you tired of me, bro?
Come on, man. You can keep going.
Yeah, I can keep going. Yeah, man. But you know what it is, man. Ultimately, we're here to provide much needed inspiration and motivation, right, for our communities out there. Again, if this is your first time listening, welcome to the family. As I stated, the family. Shout out to all the consistent supporters, viewers, right? The ones who've been giving us the energy and rocking with the UpNUp Podcast, as well as the UpNUp platform as a whole. Shout out to y'all. Salute to y'all. We love y'all, right? Always, man. Now, man, let's just get straight to it, man. The people know what we do up here. We bring amazing, compelling stories that are meant to inspire us, right?
Yep.
And today's guest, I would say, is a man whose hustle and dedication to continuous growth and elevation in his craft and ventures is nothing short of inspiring. He's definitely a true culture cultivator who's keeping everything he's doing on the up and up. A little bit about this brother. So he's an entrepreneur. I would say a visionary and owner of, actually, I would say one of the largest online sneaker resale companies and brands today, known as Sheikhs Closet.
Yes, sir.
As well as co-owner of new and highly anticipated storefront and boutique, the Mecca, which is located in Bellevue Square Mall. This brother's been cooking. Right, like they say, cooking.
Yeah, I've been in my bag.
He's been in his luggage, right? But the inspiring work is just beginning for this young brother, man. And there's many more chapters to be written in his story. So let's just get straight to it. Our guest is none other than the big stepper.
I like that.
See what I did there? Yeah. The big stepper himself, Ahmed Sheikh. Can we get a round of applause?
Appreciate you guys.
How you doing, boss?
Man, I feel great, but stressed at the same time. But I'm happy I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm always stressed, but when I do stuff like this, like, I'm super excited. It's hard for me to just take some time out of my day, just to talk to people and tell my story, because I've never really done that yet. So to me, this is exciting.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it's a pleasure to have you, bro. And we know you're a busy guy. I know. We know firsthand. But it's a pleasure and honor to have you here, man. Sure.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah. So if you're familiar with the show, we always start the show with a quote of the day, right?
Okay.
Something to get the vibe right, get the mood right.
Interesting.
Brother over here,
yes,
man
sir,
of the quotes. What you got for us today, boss?
All right, this one's going to be short and sweet, to the point, but the quote is, trust yourself. You know more than you think you do. Yeah.
I like when you bring those, like, very short and sweet, simple quotes, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. That kind of fits my life right now.
Yeah?
Because I'm winging the shit out of it.
That's what I'm saying. Me too, man.
Hell yeah. Who's that quote by
Benjamin Spock. He was like a scientist. Yeah, back in the day.
Shout out to Benji, man.
Yeah, for real.
He knows what he's talking about. So obviously the quotes is to get the conversation started, but before we get into stories, right? People's journeys. But before we get into that, I did touch in the intro about all that you're involved in, obviously Sheikhs Closet and the Mecca that's about to open up. But can you, in your words, right, can you describe kind of for those who may not be familiar with the industry, right, or the space, what kind of experience they would get when shopping with either Sheikhs Closet or the Mecca? Right.
So how it really started was my self-brand Sheikhs Closet. Started through Instagram. I really got I guess, famous or like synonymous with early pairs, dealing with early pairs, dealing with very high end, hard to get items. That's kind of how I started getting viral content out. That's how I started selling to these high end celebrities. That was the platform that I used to start my other businesses, which came my Discord, Plug Palace. That's where I got to a point that people were looking at me like, yo, how are you doing this? How are you doing that? And I was like, you know what? Let me create a platform that I'm basically helping you, you know, provide this information, teaching you the game, because there's a lot of money into shoes. And it's so much money, like anybody can get into it, especially if you know what you're doing. So like I just created a platform to do that. That also was the tool that I used to build like residual income to start working on my other businesses, which became Northwick Soul Exchange, which is the events that I'm throwing, which is this Saturday, November 13th. That was a big thing that I wanted to start working on. I used to go to Sneaker Con and Complex Con in LA, New York, Miami, and I realized we don't really have anything like that over here. And when I go over like and talk to these people, they're like, yo, Seattle's not a big market, or like the Northwest is not a big market. I'm like, dog, you know the money we got in Seattle, bro?
Exactly,
someone told you wrong.
Exactly. So I mean, it just was like, you know what? We don't have that here. There's a gap over here. And I realized a lot of people were flying out to go to these events. And I'm like, man, I feel bad for the youth growing up, because when I was younger, we had these small events that I'd go to where I could just drive down the street, bring my beaters, you know, it's back in when like foam posits and like hoop shoes was crazy, you know what I'm saying, bringing LeBron. So I'm like, that's how I got into it. So nowadays it's really tough for these kids to grow into it, because these bigger events now, they no longer come to these smaller markets. So I was like, you know what, let me just do that for them. Because I always told people like my biggest thing is like, I want talent here to stay here and to be cultivated here.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, why do I need to go to Melrose to open a store if I could do it here? And they'd be like, yo, the market's not here. So why don't we make a market here?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just always been my motto.
I love it.
So I was like, let me start the events going. Started up. It started going really well. This is our second event this weekend, and we doubled in size. And mind you, I haven't fully put like my all into it because the grand opening is the day after. But looking at it from the outside, looking in, like, it's amazing. A lot of people are flying in. A lot of vendors. We have like 60 vendors, and that's people with like startup clothing brands. That's people with startup like sneaker pages, businesses. Like just giving people platforms again, just to show their stuff. And you never know who might bite, bro, and who might tap in and push your brand to another level. So that's Northwick Soul Exchange. And then my biggest baby right now is the Mecca. I opened that 2 months ago, and maybe I sold myself short, but it took off, and it blew up, and we outgrew our space in Crossroads by a lot, to the point the owner of Bellevue Square, his name is Kemper. It's owned by the Kemper family. Okay. He started hearing about it, and I'm like, how does a family that's worth like multiple billions like hear about it?
Stores in the mall.
So he came one day because we were doing the pop-ups. He kind of popped in and was like I heard you guys are making like a big wave out there in Bellevue. And I was like, yeah, that was us. And it was after hours. He came knocking on our like door. It was closed.
Oh, he knew we were.
So and it was the son. It was the actual son. His name is Kemper Jr. And he was like, look, how do you feel about coming to Bellevue Square? And I was like, man, that's a dream for anybody. In Washington, if you're in South Center or Bellevue Square, I feel like you made it, right?
They would understand what that means.
So he was just like, I mean, I kind of want to bring that experience over there. I'm trying to bring a younger atmosphere to Bellevue Square. I just came from Chicago, and I seen Stadium Goods, and that was like the store that like blew him away. And I was like, I could be Stadium Goods, like you know what I'm saying? I got the inventory. I just need the space and somebody to believe my vision. He was like, you know what? We started talking. He was like, don't even open up in Crossroads. This was like 2 days from my grand opening in Crossroads. He was like, don't even open up. Just come to Bellevue. And I was like, bro, you kind of, you know, you pushed it a little bit. He was like, you know what? Come to Bellevue Square on Friday. My grand opening was on Saturday. And he was like, let me kind of sell you on the pitch. So we go down there. Me, my little brother, my partner, Waleed, brought my little sister. We kind of walk. He was like, meet me at the Sky Bridge from Lucky Strike going to the other side, and he stops us on the Sky Bridge like, yo, you see that building? Like, I own it. You seen that building? I own it. He was like, the parking garage under, I own it.
Yeah.
And he was just telling us like everything about the space and how it's been like 4 or 5 generations. And we started looking at a couple spaces. Once I heard the prices though, I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
Like, oh hell, like, mind you, I'm thinking Crossroads is expensive.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Crossroads Bellevue is kind of more of the a more affluent.
Right. I mean, it's really like a food court type of, you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking that was expensive.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's like a fraction of a Bellevue Square. So my window was so small, and I didn't really know anybody in the space. So, you know, he came at me, and I was like, I'm good, bro. Like, I'm good. I don't need it, bro. Enjoy your space. Yeah. Like, I'm good. I appreciate it. Went back to Crossroads after about a month. You know, it's always in your mind.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. Actually, after the grand opening, he follows me on social media. Didn't know. He comes the next day on a Sunday. It was like, I just seen 400 people at Crossroads.
Yeah.
He said, why are they at Crossroads, not at Bellevue Square?
Yeah.
He was like, let's renegotiate. You know, he sat me down. Was like, you know what? Let's talk. And we did a lot of that for the next 2 months. And when I was at Crossroads, I realized, like, looking at my numbers, I was like, man, I'd do great in either locations, paying whatever rent.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't. You know, you don't know, or you don't want to commit fully. I just like, you know what? Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I am. But me and my partner talked every day. Was like, man, you think we're ready? We think we're ready? We're like, nah. Or he was pushing me. I was like, nah. I was trying to be the logical one.
Yeah.
He's 20. He's 20, by the way. So I'm like, nah, you tripping, bro. I'm like, you don't know how much that costs, bro. And we did a lot of that, to the point I brought the third owner, Rocky. He's 23 as well, very young. And it just made sense when we made the move. So
no, that's and the reason I asked that is because I mean, obviously, and we're gonna get into that we're gonna go a little bit deeper into building the store. But it's dope to know that aspect, because it kind of answers my question already when I said, what can people expect? And it's like someone who truly is trying to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And not just trying to make a profit. You know, obviously you're gonna make money. But yeah, no, that's dope. Now let's get into the journey though. I really want to.
So let's talk about the early life, man. Like, you know, where you grew up.
Right, man.
It was that
journey's crazy.
It was the upbringing like.
Journey's crazy. I mean, came here as a refugee. I'm Somalian. My mom's Bajun.
Shout out to the
you know
shout out to my Somalians.
Come on. So came here very young. Actually, I was in pretty much the South End area. Grew up in the Hollies. Moved around the Hollies, then came to like Skyway-ish, was in Renton for a long time, went to Dimmitt Middle School, did all that. Then around like end of middle school, high school, moved down to Kent. But, you know, really like the everyday African struggle came here. On fucking Section 8 housing.
To figure it out.
I moved every fucking year. And I feel like that's where I grew or learned the skill of like being a people person. Because I've damn near lived everywhere. Every fucking year with school. So I just knew how to talk to people, how to just fit in and
how to
like
adapt.
start, you know what I'm saying?
How to adapt.
So that, I mean, that's kind of how I grew up. A lot of siblings. I got 5 brothers, 3 sisters.
That's
it was just tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, never had my own room.
You're
never had my own
in the middle.
Shit.
I would assume you're in the middle, right?
Second oldest.
Oh, okay.
So I was a parent. My older brother, knucklehead. So I was really the one that kind of had to do a lot of like the home stuff and take care of the family. But it was tough, man. It was tough. My parents weren't really one of those parents where it's like, yo, like, I'm gonna help you with this and that. Like, you had to figure it out. You had to go get it on your own. You had to fucking make your own money. You got to do all that. So that's kind of how I grew up. Like, I was just very tough. My parents were very tough. Just figure it out type of nature. Like, we were just hustlers. You know, my dad fucking put satellites up for people, bro. That's how he made his money.
Wow.
You know, he had no job.
It's inspiring.
So it was just like, I used to go with my dad all around the Hollies, putting up fucking satellites. So people could watch the African channels and Indian channels. So I remember fucking, I'm like in 4th grade, climbing up ladders and shit. Fucking like, so that's how I like grew up and learned it, you know, the hustle from. But it was tough, man. Like, growing up, seeing everybody go through gang life and all that stuff. Even for myself, like, I've always wanted better for myself, but I just grew up in tough circumstances. Like, I didn't have none of my paperwork legally until like I was 22 20, 21. So I couldn't work. I was having a hard time going to school. I was having a hard time fucking getting a license.
Yeah.
I never was the best person in school, but I always knew I was smart.
Yeah.
I just never had anybody to push me or anybody in my corner.
Like that encouragement.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, never had that. Not until I switched schools, and my counselor straight up was like, because I was asking, I was like, yeah, I never took a foreign language class, you know, for college. She was like, I don't know why you asking me, like, you about to go to college. She looked at my shit, and she was like, yeah, you got no hope. And I just realized one day, like, damn, like, I'm not that dumb. I'm just fucking lazy.
And
That's how I feel like.
It's important how they talk to you too. You know, the words are powerful, man. And sometimes when you go to counselors, especially at that age, like, you know, I remember when I was in high school going to a counselor, and fortunately it was someone who was like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, you know, but it can go the opposite direction. So
she gave me a wake up call. I think it was good for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm very nonchalant and very non-emotional person, and that was like the slap in my face. Cause I'm like, bitch, you can't tell me what to do. Like, I'm really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so
exactly.
I go and
challenge.
She was like, look, you're behind in your math credits. You know, you're failing this class, blase, blase. We have nothing opened, and from the looks of it, we don't really think you're gonna graduate. They threw me in the engineering class. They're like, this is the hardest class. No one signs up for it. She threw me in that class. Ended up fucking get 100% and loved the class.
Wow.
Off the muscle, if she just threw me in there, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really care for it, but I just realized, like, I really like this shit.
Yeah.
So I went in, stayed there for 2 years in a row, 100%. I'm talking about with AP people, all this, and they're like, yo, he's smart as hell. You know what I'm saying? No, he's smart as hell. So that's when I realized, like, yo, I'm actually really smart when I apply myself.
Yeah. And
my uncle was he was an entrepreneur himself. He was flipping hardwares and stuff that he was getting from companies, putting on eBay and making big flips.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let me get into the tech field. After I graduated, I go to Green River. I'm actually doing really good, doing really, really well. Go through, you know, all up to Calc 2, do my physics, all that. And then everything started catching up to me because they were like, yo, we can't give you financial aid no more because you got no paperwork. I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, we can't find your paperwork, which I didn't. I was just kind of finessing it.
Yeah, of course. Let them find out before you tell them.
Right. So I never, so basically my parents never really got my paperwork done. I didn't even have a green card really.
Wow.
So I was just fucking winging it. And then to a point I couldn't pay for it. And I couldn't get a job because I didn't have paperwork either.
Yeah.
So from like 18 to 21, I couldn't go to school. Couldn't get a job, couldn't get my license.
Wow.
Couldn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
no, that's a, you know, that's a
you gotta figure it out.
And that's an important, that's an important, very, very pivotal part in people's lives, man. You know, and I'm glad you share that because, you know, I think there may be people who are going through that or maybe just feel like they don't have options, even if they have their paperwork and stuff, they just don't know where to go. But looking back on that time, I guess, can you say like what kind of kept you optimistic in that space?
So actually, it's crazy because like my brothers was in the streets, my cousins was in the streets, everyone around me was in the streets, and my mentor now, damn near, it's almost like a dad to me now. You know what I'm saying? His name is Sayun. Shout out to Sayun McBride. He worked at Kent Youth and Family Services, and I used to hoop. I was nice back in the day, you know. So he was like, "Yo, I got an AU team. Come by, blase, blase." Eventually, he was like, "You know what? I can get you a job here." It was a nonprofit organization. It was basically a community center inside a housing complex. Okay. And majority of it was just Africans and Ukrainians. Like that was like majority of the people that was around there. So he was like, you know, you can come work here. We could figure it out while we figure out your paperwork. Yeah. I ended up being there for like 3-4 years. And that's all I was doing. I created my own AU program. At the time I was like 18, I was coaching JV and varsity basketball. We're going to the Rotary tournaments. We had like this big fucking almost broken down bus. I was driving around. Mind you, I'm like a year, 2 years up. Bro, driving around, finessing it and just fundraising and getting the money. And really, these kids, right? AU at the time was almost like $1,000 for traveling teams. I'm like, look, I can fundraise the money. All you have to do is maintain a certain GPA. Yeah. I had a homework club because I worked there. I was like, come to my homework club. and you just have to do a certain amount of like community service.
Yeah.
And that's really all I pushed. And I was like, I'll take care of the rest. And mind, I'm like 2 years older than them. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, all right, but I'll take care of the rest. You know what I'm saying?
Leader for sure, yeah.
And that's really how it started. My brother was on the team, a whole bunch of other people, and it went really well. A lot of people that was on it earlier, like, they were failing. I ended up getting a lot of them into running start. 2 of them play overseas right now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think half the team probably already graduated bachelor's by this point. And they still to this day, like, yo, coach. They come to my store like, coach. I'm like, dog.
No.
Like, it's cool now.
Well, you had that impact on them. And people will never forget how you make them feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
That impression is everything, bro. And I'm just glad you touched on that because, bro, like, I could already tell you're like, I'm going to figure it out regardless.
Yeah.
Because I can't stop. And I got to stay I got this thing, I say productive patience. Like, you could be patient, but be productive while you're being patient. And I feel like that's what that is. It's like, you might be in
100%.
You might be in limbo, but you're like, shit, I got to find something to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the kind of vibe I got too, bro.
You know?
How you're like, you're just nonchalant.
That's how it is, bro. I feel like it's in a lot of Africans too, because we seen our parents do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like our parents got up and grinded every day.
Yep.
They came here really on the same boat as I was.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking in my head like, yo, if you came to a country, you didn't know the language, you ain't got no job, no education, and you got 3 kids and you making it work, or 5 kids, 7 kids, I'm like, dog, I could figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The reference
might
point
take longer, but you gonna figure it out.
We got reference points, bro. The reference points are there. Now let's get into this, man, because I was always curious. Like, sometimes people have someone who kind of got them into a certain space or industry, right? Like Erm's the reason I do radio too. Like, some people don't even know that. Like, he's the one who kind of got me into that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, was there someone who kind of got you into or introduced the space to you as far as the resale shoe market, or did it even start there? Like, how'd you get into that?
That's a good question. I think really it started off just by my older brother.
Okay.
You know, I used to just think my older brother was the flyest dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all he did was wear Jordans and all that. And growing up, I'm like, damn, I want Jordans too. You know what I'm saying? You start crying to your mom. Like, and that's really how it started. And, you know, just being in the hood back then, like, you don't really got money. The only thing you really got is your clothes.
Yeah.
So it was like, you look good, you feel good. And that's kind of how it started. And I used to always take care of my shoes. My mom used to be like, yo, you only get 1 or 2 shoes a whole year. Right? One for school, one for Eid. So I was like, look, kept that bitch clean. You know what I'm saying? How to learn how to trade, flip it. Like, that's just how it was growing up.
Off top.
And eventually I just, like, since I took care of my shoes, they just started kind of piling up to the point I got to an age and I went to an event and I was like, damn, people are buying and selling shoes. And it really was more personal. Yeah. I see people who had tables with a whole bunch of sizes. Like, I remember I had a table. It was nothing but size 10s. Yeah. They were like, nigga, you only sell size 10s? I'm like, nah, it's just my shoes.
It's just my shoes. I'm just here to show y'all what I got.
And that's kind of how it started. So it was like, he was like, are you selling? I was like, more like trading. You know what I'm saying? Like, get what I want.
Where the 10s at?
And it just kind of started like that. And I've always loved it. I just always like dressing up, being different, looking cool.
Hell yeah. Fashion.
To the point where it just, you know, I was doing it in it. Mind you, since I didn't have a job, I was also doing it to make money on the side.
For sure.
And it's just kind of one of those, like, your passion with your hustle and your only option, it just somehow, like, happen to work.
They all just meet at the same
point. And it worked.
Yeah.
You know?
So what was like, so when you first got into it, what was like your outlook, like your reaction to the whole, like, sneaker business, you know?
Bro, I loved it.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, even to this day, I see these bigger guys. Or, I mean, they're not big guys, but when I was young, I thought they were big. Yeah. And even me being bigger than them now, they like come to me like, yo, like, what's good, superstar? I'm like, nah, that's you. Like, and I'm still like enamored when I see them, right? Because like mentally in my head, I'm like, I thought these guys were bigger than life. Yeah. And it's crazy to me. Like, I really thought these guys were bigger than life. Yeah. So it's crazy when I walk around all the time, or they come to my store and like, yo, you're that guy, and I'm like, dog, you made me that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why I love it is because you were
inspiration,
killing it,
bro.
know?
I was inspired. Yeah.
And that's just how it was. It was just a passion. It was a love for it. You know, like, it's just a kid that just loves shoes, and it just grew into something bigger.
Yeah. So how did you get to learning, I guess, technically the model and how to really go about doing it? Because I think when we spoke on the phone, you said, like, wasn't your first go around. Like, you had to, like, there's some trial and error. And I think there's a lot of lessons in that. But
so what was
that like?
That story I think that's the story to tell.
Yeah.
You know, really how it started. I did UpNUp first.
Okay. Shout out Europe.
Right?
I did it too.
So
yeah.
you did UpNUp. Oh, shit.
Shout out
What
Europe.
class are you?
Great program.
Man, probably like 2016, 17.
No, you
there?
around there saying I'm class 8.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
16,
Somewhere around there, bro.
2016,
Yeah.
You're up and up.
pretty
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
So I was in the Kent Youth and Family Services. My coworker, his name is Ibrahim. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
I should see him come to work in a suit every day. I'm like, dog, where you coming from? You know? He's like, this is program, blase. Told me about it through the alley-oop. I went down there, killed the interview, but they were like, you know, you need this, you need that. I'm like, dog, I ain't got no paperwork.
Come on,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
Y'all hit me with these
I ain't got no paperwork.
Yeah, like,
And
damn, yeah.
there was a dude named Rio and Jessica that was like, you know what? We can get you in the program and basically have you rock out for the first like 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And by the time the internship comes, you have to kind of have your paperwork. And I was like, fuck, you know, I didn't know, but I was like, fuck it, I can do
jump
that.
in.
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
go.
Like,
I'll figure it out.
Let me get in here. Let me make it. So
Yeah.
ended up going in, killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, dog, you're really smart. And like, why didn't you go to school? But I'm like, dog, I don't got no paperwork. Like, that's the only reason I'm here. Like, no offense, but you know, that's the only reason I'm here. And they understood it. So when I was in that program, I was really just trailblazing. They were at the time only doing, basically, what was it? They weren't doing coding at the time. They were doing just hardware stuff. So I was like, you know what? I just want to do coding.
Yeah.
And I told them, I used to tell my teachers all the time, to the point where they're like, you know what? You could code the homework and they could fucking break it to do quality insurance or do QA checks.
Oh, yeah.
And I started kind of having that dynamic and started pushing the bar. I started doing a basketball tournament, really started telling my friends, and really trailblazing to the point where, like, once I graduated, they put my name in a fucking plaque.
In the
at
Raptors?
Europe.
You got in the Europe
Yeah,
Raptors?
it's in gold. Yeah, I'm dead ass.
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
it's in gold over
That's
there.
real.
Because I was doing so much, and I helped open up the Bellevue location.
Okay.
So it was even before the Bellevue location.
Yeah, I did the Bellevue one.
Okay,
Yep,
so
yeah.
I helped push that really hard and get that
Wow,
over
man,
there
salute.
because they wanted to get in coding after they seen me do really well in coding.
Yeah.
I happened to go into Oracle as an internship, and it was a horrible experience at first because Oracle, or it used to be a response that got bought out by Oracle, and the paperwork is so messy. I ended up starting 2 months late. Didn't give me any badges, no no computer, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were telling me, y'all just chill at home for 2 months. Mind you, like, you only got 6 months.
Yeah,
So I'm
right.
like,
Yeah.
nigga, like, I'm trying to
I'm
get a
down
job,
too.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm broke.
Yeah.
So I come in every day, and to the point they're just tired of me. Like, y'all just take your ass home. I was like, look, is there any way I could just go there?
Yeah.
They were like, you know what? I talked to the manager. You could just go in. Can't do shit.
Yeah.
You could just go in. Stand by the door, wait somebody badge you in, and just sit. So I go in, I do that. I ended up meeting one of my very close friends. He was my manager at the time. His name is Justin Safin.
Okay.
He was like, you know what, bro? Like, I'll train you because you just don't be doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make use of this time.
So I ended up just buying a laptop of my own, grabbing the Ethernet cable. That was the phone Ethernet cable, put it in my shit and started working.
Wow.
It ended up killing it to the point I was their first intern to do live work.
Wow.
Because
Damn.
there was like somebody went on vacation, somebody got sick, and the entire Nordstrom team was short. And this was the Nordstrom anniversary campaign.
Wow.
So they were like, we got a job for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it was their biggest piece of work.
Yeah.
So I did the whole anniversary campaign as an intern.
Damn, bro.
All the emails.
But you was ready.
I did all the emails.
You was ready for it though.
Yep.
Yeah.
So once that happened, Europe was impressed. So they're like, we want you to speak in front of the board. And I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got it. I'm good. I got it. I'm good. So my ass didn't prep. You're right. They're telling me like 2 months in advance. I remember the day coming in, this girl had like a stack of note cards. And I'm like, bro, why you got note cards for? You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing too much.
Yeah, I'm about to wing this.
She was like, dog, you know who's in the room? I was like, nah. They just said the board. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, it's Rich Barton, you know, the founder of Zillow,
Wow.
the founder of Expedia, Glassdoor. It was John Statton, co-founder of Microsoft, Seattle mayor, all these people.
Whoa.
Now I'm like,
Oh hell no! You don't tell you ain't never no cars. Just
I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm fucked. So she was like, you know what? It's cool. She was a homie. She was like, look, I'll go first. Like, you can listen to the questions, think about it, formulate it. We had a whole game plan, so I'm like, yeah,
that's what's up.
We're good.
Shout out to her.
We hop in. My name is Ahmed, so it starts with an A. They're like, oh, Ahmed, you go first. Pull up my name. I'm like, God. Like, why? Why would you do that to me? So I go up. Thank God, though, it worked out for me. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's your life.
Yeah.
It's your struggle. Mm-hmm. It's the job that you're doing.
Yeah.
So even if you're lying, I mean, I wasn't, but even if you're lying, they couldn't correct you. Yeah. They couldn't check you.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
Speak your truth.
I'm going to just answer every question, speak my truth, be honest, kept eye contact, answer their questions, and they were just blown away. Yeah. To the point, I remember because we actually got into a topic about the East African community, and the Seattle Mayor just kept bugging me with questions. Like, boom, 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 boom. We kept going, and then Richard Barton started hopping in, started bugging me with questions. After we got done with it, the girl went up after. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put her on blast, but the girl went up after. She was just looking down on note cards all the time. She was just didn't even look up. Yeah. No questions after. It was over. We walk out. A week later, Richard Barton calls the school. Was like, once he graduates, he has a job. She was. It was just to Zillow. Yeah. Mind you, this is the time Zillow was like 0.001% hiring rate. Yeah. So once he graduates, he got the job.
Wow.
And they're just like, this is a big deal. And I'm like, well, shit, we'll see. I'm like, we'll see when I graduate, but like, it's all good. Yeah. I ended up graduating, and like a month later, he emails me directly. It was like I'm ready for you if you're ready. I went in there and didn't really interview. They just gave me the job. Off the and they have a little like Facebook thingy internally, so you could see kind of who refers you or hires you. Yeah. And mine was like all the way to the top. So coming in, everyone was like, how'd you get referred by the CEO, the founder? I was like, look, just happened to get lucky, you know what I'm saying? I'm here, but it was a blessing and a curse because I was like 21. Okay. I probably was, if not the youngest person at the time, and I felt like the attention of that like caused a lot of like just hate very early. I was very young, very just like innocent as a person, very open, and I had a horrible experience. Like straight up had a horrible experience at Zillow. And I did a lot for Zillow. I actually created Billo, Blacks in Zillow. Wow. I created that at 21.
Wow.
Damn. To this day, it says created by Ahmed Sheikh.
I'm familiar with that. With the
fact check 100%. Now, what if I tell you I got in trouble for creating that?
What?
That's crazy.
I got in trouble for creating that. Swear to God, got in trouble because they thought at the time like I was creating like division and you know how it is all that stuff.
Disruption.
And it wasn't a thing. So they're like, yo, like what are you doing? We don't like. You need to stop doing all that. Blase. Now they give out an award every year. For Billo.
For those who don't know, Billo's the Black network at Zillow, for employees. That's first of all,
I'm about to get in my bag.
I'm curious because like you have a certain like a fuck it mentality, like a confidence though, right? In a good way, where it's like, why not?
Right.
Like a why not? You know what I mean? Yeah. But at that young age, to go into corporate America, so to speak, and to say, there's something wrong here. Right. Someone should do something about it. Like, where does that come from?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think really because me being an older brother and the experience I had as far as like my older brother was so bad, I always wanted to be that person for my younger siblings. And I've always did everything I could do to make sure like they had a better chance than me or they had a fair chance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I just feel like everywhere I went to, that's kind of how my energy was. Because I went from that to doing, being a coach at a community service, at a rec hall, right? And going from that to corporate America, I still had that innocent energy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I was still very innocent as a person. Yeah. Like you always want good.
That momentum. Yeah.
So I got in that space doing the same thing.
That makes sense.
I got the first interns in Europe into Zillow. I helped make that happen, straight up.
Yeah.
Got the first interns there. And from there, we've hired like, I think 15 Europe students have been hired at Zillow. All from like the strength. There was never nobody from Europe ever there.
It's amazing.
So it went from interns to hiring people. And they never used to hire anyone without a degree. So a lot of things changed once I started getting up there, because my close friend Katie, she was a CFO, and she was on the board as well. And that's kind of why we had a good relationship, and I was able to do so much very fast.
That makes sense.
But again, it caused a lot of friction.
Yeah, for sure.
With like my internal team.
Yeah.
And it just caused so much friction that like anytime they could blame me for stuff, they did. I remember we did a team outing. And they're writing stuff. I forget the game's name, but you write stuff on a card, you put it in the thing, and they tell you that you have to guess who that person was.
Oh yeah.
So like
you're
you're smart, you're rapper, blase, you're calm. I was like black, chicken, watermelon, in hot sauce, and I was like, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking. I'm 21.
That's crazy.
And I don't know what to do, and they're just laughing about it. She laughed so hard, she framed it. Put it on her desk. Mind you, that person became my manager.
That's wild.
You see where
it's like the audacity to think that, like, I mean, where's the professionalism?
Right, and I'm young, so you got to understand, I come from the street, so it's like, I'm not going to go to HR.
Yeah.
Fuck a HR. HR is never going to be in my head, because I'm in a mentality like, you ain't going to snitch, you just shut up, you get your work done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your parents would be like, yo, just shut the fuck up, get your work done.
Yeah.
And that shit like fucked me up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how like I got into corporate. From there I left.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this shit. I ended up leaving, going to Microsoft.
Yeah. And
Microsoft's really when I started like building my skill sets. I started working as a campaign developer. That's where I learned all like my marketing, just geniuses.
Yeah.
Like that helped me build my own brand.
Yeah.
And I was there for a couple years. Now, during my like third year at Microsoft, I tried opening a first store.
Okay.
Way back.
Okay.
2017, 2018 on Capitol Hill. It was called Restock.
So you tried to open like a brick and mortar.
Right.
Okay.
So it was actually on top of a smoke shop.
Okay.
So you had to go in the smoke shop and go upstairs.
Okay.
It was on Cap Hill, like literally on Cap Hill. It was right by the QFC, like 2 blocks down.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So we were there, and the kid, my partner, he had to be like 19. His dad owned the building, so that's really what inclined me to do it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I was like, all right, shit, rent's hella cheap.
Yeah.
We tried winging it. We tried making it happen. It was a lot of friction. During the same time, both of my brothers got shot that year. Same year.
Damn.
So I'm working at Microsoft full time. I'm trying to get that open.
Yeah.
And then my younger brother gets shot in January. He was at the A Boogie concert. Drive-by got shot.
Oh my
and then
God,
my older brother gets shot.
Yeah.
At the Kazi, he ended up getting shot, torn up, and that was the same year. So I'm sleeping in the hospital for like 2 months, going straight to Microsoft, going straight to the store.
Yeah.
Every day, hitting the toll.
Damn.
Man, my toll bill was crazy.
Yeah.
That's how it was. So I was trying to do something. It was just a lot of unfortunate circumstances, and then my partner just wasn't getting along.
Yeah, it's a lot going on at once.
It was a lot. And then eventually, I just got laid off at Microsoft, and I went to Africa in 2018. So when I went to Africa, I was there for 3 months, and I told my partner, I was like, "Look, you could hold down the fort, and when I be back, like we're good." And I knew my homie Paris and Soulmates was coming on Cap Hill, so I was like, "Yo, you gotta get your shit together."
Yeah.
Go over there, bro. It was a horror story. People call me like, yo, I'm not even gonna go to the store if you're not at the store.
Damn.
Like this happened. This dude's wearing my clothes. Whole bunch of shit. To the point I was like, just washed my hands. Was like, I'm done. And when I was in Africa at the same time, like, it was life changing for me.
Yeah.
Like life changing. Meeting family.
Was that like a necessary unplug to get away from everything?
That changed me for like the better.
Yeah.
Like, if I never went to Africa.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'd get to the point where I was now, because I stopped taking things for granted, and I stopped complaining and just got shit done. Because I was out there and I seen like my family that went to school and do all this, they still didn't have a job. You know, didn't really have places to sleep. My auntie, you know, she was blind for 10 years. First thing I did was get her surgery. Mind you, I brought like $25,000 I'm like, I'm about to fucking kick it.
Yeah.
Like fuck a family. I'm about to kick it.
Yeah.
Like that was my mindset.
This is for
like,
me.
Yeah. Bro, I was saving money. Like I'm trying to stay at a hotel and fucking live my best life.
Yeah.
So I go down there, and also like on like side note, I've always kind of hated Africa. Not trying to say like my family in Africa.
Yeah.
Because I used to always think my mom would favor them. Because you know when you grow up, your parents give them hella fucking money. Like, nigga, I haven't ate in a week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everything.
Like that's how it was.
Real. That's real.
Just be like, dog, like, why are you doing that?
It
like,
made you think of like you had your own narrative about it. So
you just like, yo, they're smoochers, they're fucking lazy, like they're fucking this, like you know, you're young, you're a kid, you don't know better.
You're a kid,
So I just always was like, dog, like fuck these niggas, dog. Like, and I'm not even trying to say that, but it was just like, bro, I'm fucking struggling over here. I ain't got no paperwork. I ain't got no money. We broke. I ain't eating.
There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. Yeah, and understanding.
So I'm going over there like that wasn't my concern. I'm like, I'm about to fucking enjoy my life. Everything changed. I go down there. You meet your family. You realize like, oh, no, these niggas need this money, dog. Like they need this shit. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I really got time to like spend time with them. Really understand their life, their struggle. Like I just ended up staying in the house. Not even going to the hotel. Just staying in the house. Damn, their toilet wasn't working. Like I'm bathing myself in a bucket. Like that's how I was staying down there, and just used all my money on them. Like my aunt, my mom's sister, she was blind 10 years, got her surgery done, both eyes she was able to see. Damn. My cousin, he had 3 kids. I'm sorry, lived in one room, in downtown. Like they cook, clean everything in this little room. So I got her apartment, paid for like 3 years of rent up front. You know what I'm saying? Downtown up. Same thing. My other cousin, 7 kids, did the same thing. Like I just made sure everybody was just taken care of. Boom, 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 boom.
That's
boom,
real.
Boom, boom. To the point when I came back, I was dead broke.
Yeah.
But I felt so good. Like I was mentally so like just free. I don't know what it was, bro. I just felt so good.
It's a different type of wealth that you gain.
Right.
Like you may have given away the kind of the tangible,
right,
you know, money,
right,
and wealth, but you gain something more internal,
right,
that's intangible and can live forever type
right.
shit. That's how I see it.
It was beautiful. It really changed everything about me, my perspective. It made my relationship with my parents better. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciated everything that they did. I respected what they did even more.
Hell yeah.
Now when they talk to me, I listen to everything they say, because you realize there's a bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I realized like shit is bigger than you. You know what I'm saying?
It's important,
like,
man.
A lot of things are bigger than you.
And that's crazy, because that is, especially being, you know, just being an immigrant growing up, first generation, it's like that's actually a luxury now for people to be able to just even experience what you experienced. That's a luxury, bro, to get that type of perspective. You know what I mean? So it's important, man, and that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
It was beautiful, and that's really what started it. I came back dead broke, no job. Like I had no money, and then that's low-key what kind of started me back into shoes.
Got you.
Because I had a fire collection. So I was like, let me just start selling this stuff. That started getting me back into shoes for a little bit, until I started working again on Microsoft. And then there was a point that I was like, you know what? I'm done with shoes. I'm done. I'm on my corporate grind.
Another breakup?
Yeah, you know, just I'm done. It just, you know, I tried multiple times, right? By that time, it was like my second, third time. So I was like, I'm done. Microsoft was going good. Got promoted. And I'm making 6 figures now. Like I told myself I wanted to make 6 figures when I was 30. So I was like, hell yeah. Like I feel like I'm doing something, you know what I'm saying? So I was there. I was done with shoes. End of 2019, November. One of the homies like, yo, there's a local sneaker event. Come by, bro. I was like, I'm good. So then I just come by, like old time sakes. Everybody's been asking for you, because I always had a table. It was really good. It was like, just come by. So I go by, walk around. Ain't nothing special. I see one of like the little homies. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was doing it, he was like 13, 14. Cool as hell. So he just starts talking to me, starts flexing on me tough. Like, bro, I was at SneakerCon LA. I was selling shit to Offset. blase. Like, just we're talking for an hour. He's like, what happened to you? Used to be the man. I feel like it's the 50 Cent. Like, you're like, damn, homie.
In high school, you was a man,
so
homie.
he was just over here just on me. And I'm like, dog, if you're doing it, I know for sure I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So he just started. He got me back into selling shoes.
That's crazy.
And now he's my business partner at the store. And he's 20 now. He's 20.
That was
wow.
That was necessary though.
Right.
The universe brings people into your life for certain things.
So if he never had that conversation with me, and like fucking just demolished me for that good 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I tell him that all the time.
No, that's your reflection on that is important though. Like you clearly vividly remember every single step. Yeah. That's what's important. Sometimes people just go through the motions,
right?
And they're achieving things, which is good. Sure. But you gotta know what everything means. Connect the dots. You know,
it's crazy. And I think the biggest thing is relationships.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he thought highly of me.
Yeah.
And even in his mind, even though he was like, let's just say he wanted to shit on me, he knew I was the person to shit on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's an underlying respect there.
Right. Like
he
was like, look, if I'm gonna flex those ways, it's him, and I'm gonna let him know like I've been doing it.
Yep.
So we just had a decent relationship. COVID hit.
Yeah.
COVID was really like what helped change my life. So when COVID hit, I was able to work from home every day. So once that started, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna sell everything.
Yeah.
Mind you, I lived with my brother in a little closet. It was like probably smaller than this. No closet. So that's where my name Sheikhs Closet came from.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Because my brother got shot up.
Yeah.
You know, he couldn't work. So I lived with him for 3 years.
Yeah.
To just pay his rent.
Yeah.
I was like, he has a family, he has a wife, couple, 2 kids. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm making 6 figures. So people are like, yo, why the fuck are you in a little room?
Yeah.
I traded my fucking BMW for a Prius. I was like, again, it's bigger than me, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming back from the trip. I'm gonna take care of my brother.
They don't see the vision. Yeah.
So for 3 years, I'm just in a little room, just percolating. You know what I'm saying? Just in this little ass room, just percolating, just trying to figure it out. Mind you, I got a great job. Like everything's good, but it's like, yo, I'm still in a tough situation.
Yeah.
So again, like it started in my little room, Sheikhs Closet. Once COVID hit, I started selling everything. I was like, fuck it, I'm selling everything. Just something hit me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't go out.
Yeah.
I can't flex on nobody. I can't do anything. I'm gonna just sell everything.
Yeah.
It happened to just work.
It started taking off.
I don't know what it was. It just worked.
But you knew what you were doing.
Absolutely.
Right? You knew what you were doing.
Absolutely.
So when someone says, I'm just gonna sell everything,
right.
Like there's strategy behind that
Right.
you've already went through.
I think what changed this time around was the corporate experience.
Yeah.
Me coming from a space where all I was doing was marketing for these big corporate giants, talking to these stakeholders, making these decisions. I just really applied it to myself.
Yeah.
Right. And mind you, there's a lot of kids in this industry, but there's also a lot of money in this industry. So really, if you come correct, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're good at people. You're good at networking.
Yeah.
That alone will take you, to a certain level.
Yeah.
Ended up again just doing that. Still working full time.
Yeah.
I'm still managing a team in India.
Yeah.
So I would go from like 7 a.m. to lunch, ship fucking 30 shoes, come back, go back to work, and I was working till like 2 a.m. at night, because like my 9 p.m. was their 9 a.m. and I had to debrief them, and I was their project manager.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm telling you, for 6-7 months.
And you don't sleep?
That's it. I was boom, boom.
Damn, bro.
Like
that's
straight like that. Didn't go out. Don't party. Like I don't drink. I've never drank. I've never smoked in my life. I don't go out. I just stayed in that little ass room.
No, that's that
dedication right there.
But that's big, bro. Because and I remember when we were talking on the phone, we were talking about it. It was like a lot of times, especially nowadays, people only see your wins, right? And obviously, sometimes we feel guilty because we're like, man, I don't only want to show my wins. I want to document. But it's like, shit, I got to work too, you know?
Right.
So I'm glad you're able to touch on that, so people know, like, yo, when they see these fly ass kicks and they see, they know where that comes from, 100%. And you don't just get that shit on accident, bro. I say luck is attracted to preparation, bro. You know what I mean?
For real.
Nobody gets lucky, bro. Like, people prepping every day for this shit, and it happens that way. So.
Yeah, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you chose to do certain things that put you in certain places.
Right.
You know
That's
what I
real.
mean?
100%.
So we be saying that all the time, bro. So
I feel like it's a lot about just good energy, patience, and networking.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think that's the 3 biggest things that got me to where I've gotten to.
Confidence.
You know what I'm saying?
Belief in yourself, too.
Right.
Like, yeah. And so, Now, I do want to kind of briefly touch on this because I remember seeing this. So you had a moment when, speaking of 2020, you had a moment when you kind of went like mini viral, a little bit viral, right? Where, and it's funny because one of your videos said how like people believe anything they see on the internet, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of like, people confused Sheikh and Sheikh's shoes, and you went along and played a joke saying that you owned Sheikh's shoes, and people believed it and blew
to this
it up.
day, actually.
Yeah, they still, some people still probably do believe
that
it.
Was the worst running joke I did to myself to this day, bro.
What did you learn from that, and then what did you gain from that? I guess.
You know what's crazy? One, I'm camera shy.
Yeah.
I'm very camera shy, and I don't record videos.
Yeah.
If you go on my Instagram, I probably took like 2 pictures of my face.
Yeah.
So I don't know why one day I just rolled over my bed and somebody tagged me in this damn video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they thought they were funny. They're like, oh, look, bro, it's your fucking name, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, dog, it's not my name.
Yeah.
And so when I was like, you know what? Took me 2 takes. I roll over the bed. I do the fucking video. And I'm thinking nothing of it. Like, no one's going to give a fuck. It was just for him. Like, just for the keys.
Yeah.
It blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
It was on World Star. It was on damn near every sneaker page. Like, I swear to God, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They really believe this stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what I was doing, and I knew like it was potential to be viral, you know, and it's good. Like I was building traffic.
Yeah.
And a lot of like what helped me build my brand was TikTok. And I understood that very early. Again, just coming from the marketing side. And I was able to look at data and analytics behind the scenes.
For sure.
So I hopped on there just for business.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the only reason I was on TikTok.
Yeah.
I was a grown ass man. I'm 28. I was like, why am I on TikTok? It was just to do that.
For sure.
But it worked out.
Yeah. I just bring it up because one of the things you said is like people believe anything they see on the internet, you know? So it's just a message like, yo, fact check, do your research.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I made a YouTube video after that too. And I explained all of that, and it was crazy because I had people DM me, email me, their applications, their jobs, their HR complaints. They're still. I swear to God, it went for like 6 months.
And they probably.
I seen that video on YouTube.
Where they
talking about. I was like, damn, it was crazy.
To this day, they're like, Sheikh is a shoes. Do you own it or not? It's a joke.
And it's pronounced Sheikh.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I guess that's a takeaway. Now, obviously, with all you're doing, you know, it's pretty straightforward, or it's pretty understood that you're still growing, but you're well established in the space. Can you talk a little bit about the aspect of collaboration in the industry? Because obviously, any industry you go into, it's competitive, right? Whatever you're competing. But I noticed that you do a lot of collaborative work, whether it's at these events and meetups, things like that. Talk about the importance of collaboration and I guess what you've gained from that.
Right, very important. And I've done things with people in every aspect of the shoe game, not just like selling shoes, but also like there's botters. You know, like the game is like broken down in like multiples, like Discords, resellers, store owners, botters. Like there's a lot of different avenues, and I've always made sure that I was good with like everybody. And one thing I learned very early. And again, just the corporate side, it was how important networking was. So any opportunity I had was like, you know what? Even if they were smaller than me, yo, I got an idea. Let's run it by me. Let's see how it goes. Let's figure out if it's dope. And I don't care who you are, but if the execution is dope, let's do it. And I've always been that person. So if it came from marketing, events, even doing like bot promotion, Discord promotion, like everything, I've done it all. And I learned that from the corporate space.
You're
that's something I brought to you.
I'm glad you brought that up, bro, because like when we look at it, or people that's not really in the game, we're like, okay, it's just buying and selling shoes,
right.
You know what I mean? We don't put too much thought behind it,
right?
But, I'm kind of glad you brought up that there's a lot of different avenues in it. So if you could kind of talk about that a little bit,
right?
For sure.
So, I mean, and just something popped in, and I'm gonna get into the second question. Because actually, I truly wouldn't be here, right, if I didn't network. And the reason why I said that is because, again, what I got famous for was like the early pairs, the back doors. And that happened because a small account, it's a true story, no profile picture type shit was like just talking to me. And they were like, yeah, I'm shocked you even responded type shit. And I was like, what do you mean? I respond to everybody. And that's the reason why I didn't put up a website up. To this day, people always ask me like, bro, I damn near, there was points I was getting 1,000 DMs a day. They're like, why don't you just put up a website? I was like, because I get to talk to each person for each order that I do.
Yeah.
There's people that I bought from that changed my life. They gave me information that changed my life.
That's real.
They gave me a plug that changed my life.
Yeah.
All because all I did was start talking.
That
Like,
energy.
damn, that's crazy. You
That
like this
energy,
shoe?
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you did, blah. You know, we just started having conversation.
Yeah.
But to this day,
That's real.
never put up a website
Damn.
for that very reason.
That's crazy because I see it now because it's like the energy transfer in that conversation, even if it's virtual. Like it's more than just kind of someone going and adding something to a cart and dipping out without having any interaction.
And that's what like my thing was, because a lot of people, I talked to a lot of people, same thing you were like, yo, get an assistant.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just something about me getting shit done. It was something about me just connecting with people that worked for me.
Yeah.
And that's how I got like these trophy rooms, right? I did this deal directly with Marcus Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That's Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy,
like,
bro.
this deal happened behind
That was a stunt right there. That was
You know
a
what I'm
stunt.
saying? Like,
I
there was a picture that went viral all over the, like, for good and bad. I got a lot of attention, but you know, I was in a room with 250 pair of these. Mind you, at the time, the valuation was like almost $600,000. It was just sitting in my living room.
Yeah.
A dude in Renton. Mind you, like, everybody in the world was trying to get this shoe. I probably had 10% of the entire stock of the world.
How do you handle that? Does that come with pressure? Like, do you feel pressure when you have such valuable products?
100%.
What do you do to like kind of ease your mind? And
your mind never is at ease, bro.
Never.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be wondering, bro.
I had 3 motherfuckers cycling through my house and shit, bro, at all times. But nah, it's crazy. I didn't sleep that trip or that month and a half because the deal was all cash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mind you, only could fly with a certain amount of cash.
Yeah.
And I mean, the deal was about like $350,000. Shit. And that was me coming off. I got laid off at my last job.
Yeah.
End of 2020. And this was the deal that cemented me being an entrepreneur. Because I told myself, I was getting a severance package. I was able to get unemployment on top of it. I said, look, I got 6 months to figure this shit out. It's either go back to work or make it work.
Yeah.
This deal made it work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right? This deal alone,
Yeah.
I made $100,000.
Yeah. No, and
That's one deal.
that's the moment.
And that's when I realized, like,
yeah.
I'm good. I made what
It's
I made
real.
last year. What fucking deal? I'm
Yeah.
not going back to work.
Well, you're only
Yeah.
competing against yourself too. Feels like, right? Like
There's definitely people out there.
well, I'm talking more so just kind of like looking at where you're at. Like, okay, well,
Right.
this is where I was at last year, 3 years ago. Look where I'm at now.
For
Like, you know what I mean? We're
For
always
sure.
competing against ourselves type shit.
100. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, I'm not doing it to be, in a sense, like the richest person in the world. It was more just to take care of my family.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, like I moved out last year, but I've always told myself I'm not gonna move out if I still can't help my brother pay his rent or help my parents pay their rent. So to this day, I'm paying my rent and helping pay their rent and helping my parents' rent. It's not just me doing me. And I made sure that the day I could move out is the day I could damn near pay everyone's rent. And that's what happened for the last year.
That's man. That's beautiful.
So again, that's really what made me like do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to this day, bro, like I make sure my family's taken care of.
Yeah.
I still make sure I'm sending a certain amount of money back to Africa. Like I'm making sure I'm putting money in my siblings' pocket.
Yeah.
Just now, I just hired 4 of my siblings to work at the store.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? My
dope.
younger
Salute.
brother's the
That's
manager.
dope. Yeah.
Come
My
on,
older
man.
brother's the security
Come on,
guard.
bro. That's big,
My
bro.
sister's at the register. My
Yeah.
other brother's at the register.
Yeah.
So it was bigger than me, you know? Like, you know, a lot of people like, yo, I want to make it, I want to be rich. It's like, I want to make everybody around me rich.
Yeah. What's your vision?
You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely like more fulfilling, bro.
Right.
You know what
Way
I mean?
more
So,
fulfilling.
Yeah. And then again, like whatever people see on the surface is never gonna match the context, right? Like, so you move with a certain frequency, you move with a certain energy, bro, and it is what it is. You leaving
For
your mark,
sure,
you're
man.
making your impact, bro. Salute. I'm inspired, bro. This is this is dope, man. And
down.
now before we get you out of here, obviously you're a busy guy. We know there's a grand opening in which you announced
Right.
that's coming up. So how would you describe the experience of like someone walking into the Mecca when they walk in after the grand opening, when it's open? what are they going to experience aside from just dope ass products?
Right. And this is the question I ask myself every day when I was like getting this thing. No, true story, like how I was designing it.
Yeah.
I was trying to bring New York and LA to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first like point out of bullets, and that was my first point.
I like it.
How do I
it.
bring New York, LA to Seattle? Because I know a lot of people here, they be like, yo, I'm going to go to LA.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some shopping.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you going to LA to do some shopping?
Yeah.
They're like, because there ain't shit here.
Yeah.
Like, no, if I love everyone.
Yeah,
but like, you know, they're just going down there to shop. So I was like, you know what? How do I bring that experience here?
Mm-hmm.
How do I build a place where if celebrities do come or athletes do come, they can go and get what they need? I used to watch a lot of sneaker shopping. And I don't know if you guys seen it with Joe LaPuma. He brings us celebrities. They do like the shopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like hella random as fuck. They bring the random.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I realized like nobody in Seattle did one in Seattle. They all went to LA. Every other person did it in their city.
Wow.
We're the only city.
Yeah.
They don't do it in their city.
Got it.
And I was like, ain't no fucking way, boy. Dwayne, no way, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dwayne, no way, boy. Like, I was like, ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
And I was like, I need to make a space that is clean so that if they do that or want to do that, they have a space to do that.
Yeah.
And two, we have the inventory where you can do a LA type shopping in Seattle. That was my two points that I needed to
and it's
take
very
care
focused,
of.
very focused vision. Yeah.
And then after that was just making sure it was clean.
Yeah.
Making sure like we curated certain pieces.
Yeah.
We wanted a certain look.
Yeah.
We wanted to build our own brand. Like I'm working on my own merch, you know, Mecca design, stuff like that. Working on other side projects that you'll probably see on the grand opening.
Hell
but
yeah.
I just wanted something bigger.
Yeah. No, I feel that, bro.
Man,
I think it's gonna be big for the city, man, and the vision is very clear when you
Appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. I like it because it goes back to what you were saying. If there isn't a market created,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Nah, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of gems in this. Dropping a lot of jewelry in here, man.
Yes, sir.
Now, Ahmed, or do you go by Sheikh? What do you prefer? I should ask you before.
I got
the show.
3 names. All right, and it depends like who's talking to me, but
What
if
can we
it's
call
like
you?
the social media,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, Shaq, obviously, you
Got
know,
you.
it's my last name. If it's just like you kind of know me around, it's Ahmed.
Got you.
That's work in school.
I got you.
Yeah.
Work in school.
Got you.
If
For those listening.
if I say you're my homie, don't
Yeah.
ever call me Ahmed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Now, what everyone calls him Made.
Okay.
If you just talk to anybody in the city, they're
They
like,
know.
"Oh, you talking about Made?
They know.
Talking about Made? It's Made. Like that's my name.
Got you.
Made.
Got you.
My parents call me. My brothers call me.
Okay.
The homies call me. The
Okay.
streets call me.
Yeah.
It's Made.
Yeah.
Got you.
But if it's on social media, Shaq.
Okay.
If I'm at fucking a legal job or whatever, it is, call me Ahmed.
Yeah.
I love it, bro.
That's how it goes. That's
I
how
love
it
it.
goes.
So, speaking of social media, though, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, let them know where they can tap.
Yeah,
where
so
they can tap in.
Instagram, Sheikhs Closet, TikTok, Sheikhs Closet as well. And then my businesses, the Mecca, Northwest, that's the Instagram. And then we have Northwest Soul Exchange, which is the event. It's going to be this Saturday, November 13th. You don't want to miss it. And the grand opening for the Mecca is going to be the day after, Sunday, November 14th at 11 a.m. We're going to have free giveaways, raffles, doorbuster deals, and we're going to have some treats
Hell yeah.
and merch.
And it's
So
gonna
don't
keep-
wanna miss
and
it.
It's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep growing.
I gotta
Yes,
go
sir.
check it out, man.
Hell yeah,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
Oh, we definitely gonna pull up. We definitely gonna
Oh,
pull
got
up.
to.
Yeah.
Now, before we get you out of here, we always ask our guests this question, something to kind of cap up what we discussed and what can cast what's ahead. So if you can, my brother, what's one word to describe what keeps you on the up and up and why?
I think never being satisfied. You know what I'm saying? That's for me. That's how I've always been, because I've been in multiple situations where I could have been happy with what I got, but I've always wanted more. And I never liked being stagnant. I don't care what it is. Like, even if my money's not right, I'm like, what about my body? You know what I'm saying? Or what about my religion or something? But I always just felt like we should always be improving on ourselves or looking for that next like trend or the next step.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, yeah, you're in a good situation, but sooner than later, like, it's insanity when you do the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again, even if it works.
Yeah.
But if you do the same thing over and over and over again, you're gonna get sick of it.
Yeah.
So I always just try to do something new, or try to like work on another project, or try to just hop on the next wave. Like I'm always, just, my mind's always like, yo, what's new?
Unsatisfied
You know
in a good way.
Yeah,
in a
for
good
sure.
way.
I feel like I'm like a social media fucking guru. Like I'm like, what's next? What's the next step? But it's just like, you know, like you just want to know.
That's
you know
that's actually the beauty of life. Sometimes, you know, it's a blessing to have that perspective where you're like, damn, what else is there out there?
What can I do more?
Very explorative, bro. I love it, man. Well, you know, you got support with us here, man. We wish you much success moving forward, bro.
Thank you.
Keep building, keep inspiring people out here, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys.
Keep representing, man. It's important, man. We talked about this, having people in spaces, taking up spaces.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, just it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like in general, like doing what I do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think about it all the time.
It's crazy, but we're trying to make it normal.
Right.
Let's go.
I mean, and it's not even like, yo, forget a ethnicity thing or a religion thing. Like for anybody,
not facts.
To do what I'm doing is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's the crazier thing about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying my best. I'm figuring out like his quote earlier. You gotta believe in yourself. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like I may not be the smartest person. I may not be the luckiest person, but I've always tried to put out good energy. Yeah. And I feel like eventually, like a lot of it started coming back.
The universe, the universe is always listening and it's always watching.
You just make sure when that time comes, bro, you just got to be hungry, stay on your toes, and you got to grind, bro.
Yeah, no, for
you
sure.
got to work for it.
For sure, man. Like I said, luck's attracted to preparation, man.
Exactly.
You already know. Well, Ahmed Sheikh, Madej,
yeah,
whatever they want to call you, they can call you that. But we know we're going to call you a good brother, man, and a family of the show.
Thank you.
With that being said, I think it's safe to say Sheikhs Closet, the Mecca, the whole team, the whole movement are officially members of the UpNUp. Can we get a round of applause for the good brother?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me.
To continue supporting the podcast and the entire UpNUp movement, be sure to rate, review, like, and subscribe.
As well as follow us at _ the UpNUp on all social media platforms to stay connected with everything the UpNUp has coming your way.
Thanks for listening, and until the next one,
keep it on the UpNUp.